Stop whatever you're doing right now because I need to warn you about something that happened overnight that could completely change your winter plans. The weather models just pulled off the biggest betrayal I've seen in my entire career, and millions of you need to know about this immediately. We're talking about a complete weather pattern revolution that happened while you were sleeping, and it's about to affect everything. If you've been preparing for the Arctic blast I've been warning you about, you need to hear this before you make any more winter preparations. I'm literally shaking right now because what I'm looking at on these computer screens shouldn't be physically possible, but here we are. You have exactly the next few minutes to understand what's happening before this information becomes critical for your daily planning. Because what I'm about to show you is going to force you to completely rethink everything you thought you knew about this winter. When every sophisticated computer model on the planet suddenly abandons weeks of consistent forecasting, that's your warning signal that something massive is happening. And right now, the atmospheric warning lights are flashing red across the eastern United States. Drop your location in the comments right now so I can tell you exactly how urgent this situation is for your specific area. Because what's coming is going to hit some regions harder than others. And you need to know if you're in the danger zone. And if you want to stay ahead of these rapid-fire weather emergencies as they develop, subscribing is literally your lifeline to critical updates. Brace yourself for this comparison, because what you're about to see will make you question everything you thought you knew about weather forecasting. 48 hours ago, every single weather model was screaming the same urgent message. Brutal Arctic invasion incoming with life-threatening cold targeting the Great Lakes through the Northeast. This wasn't just any winter storm threat. We're talking about a pattern so entrenched it was supposed to control weather for the entire first half of January. The storm-making machinery was perfectly aligned with a blazing heat dome in the west, setting up the ideal conditions for massive nor'easters. But then this morning hit. And everything I thought I knew about atmospheric physics got thrown out the window. Listen, I'm going to be brutally honest with you about something most weather forecasters won't admit. Sometimes Mother Nature completely blindsides us. We chase these long-range signals because when we nail them, we can give you life-saving weeks of advance warning about dangerous weather. But occasionally, the atmosphere decides to completely rewrite reality in real time. And that's exactly what you're witnessing right now. I'm telling you this because your safety and your family's safety depend on understanding when weather forecasts shift, especially shifts this dramatic. The European supermodel, which has been our most reliable crystal ball for long-range forecasting, was showing rock-solid agreement on sustained Arctic dominance. I'm talking about the kind of consensus that makes emergency managers start pre-positioning resources weeks in advance. And then this morning's data drop happened, and every assumption I had about this pattern got completely demolished. Even the American GFS model, which usually plays things more conservative, is showing changes so extreme they seem almost impossible. Where we had this massive Arctic fortress locked over the eastern states, we now have this chaotic roller coaster that's going to give you whiplash. This isn't a minor course correction. This is a complete demolition and rebuilding of winter weather patterns for the next several weeks. That massive ridge over the western states that was supposed to be permanently anchored has suddenly become a traveling circus, which means storm paths, cold air invasions, and snow distributions are getting completely scrambled as we speak. Here's what this means for your life starting right now. Forget about preparing for sustained Arctic warfare with potential blockbuster snowstorms. You're now facing this unpredictable roller coaster where cold snaps appear and disappear rapidly, and snow chances become much more hit or miss. But don't let your guard down. Winter isn't disappearing. It's just becoming more dangerous and unpredictable. Instead of those legendary multi-day blizzards that give you time to prepare, think lightning-fast snow events that strike without warning. Those marathon snow events that can pile up multiple feet over several days, your odds of seeing those just plummeted dramatically. But here's the dangerous part. When I analyze today's model output, there are still winter weather landmines scattered throughout this pattern. The critical difference is that timing becomes life or death important. We're talking about hair trigger windows, where conditions can flip instantly. This new pattern moves so aggressively that dangerous conditions can develop and dissipate in your area before you even realize what's happening. Here's where this gets really critical. We need to treat these new model predictions like they're radioactive right now. When computer models betray their own forecasts this dramatically and this quickly, it's a massive red flag that they're struggling with an unsolvable atmospheric equation. I'm expecting more dramatic plot twists over the next 24 to 48 hours as these models attempt to wrestle with whatever chaos is happening in the atmosphere. But right now, this shocking betrayal represents our best guess at the new reality, even though it contradicts everything we've been tracking. The new atmospheric battlefield shows the West Coast getting absolutely hammered by relentless storm systems, while unexpected action erupts across the Midwest and Great Lakes. Meanwhile, the Eastern Seaboard, which was supposed to be the main theater of winter warfare, has suddenly been demoted to a sideshow. The jet stream just abandoned that classic nor'easter superhighway we were counting on just 48 hours ago. I've never witnessed such a massive atmospheric feature just vanish from model guidance overnight. This is genuinely emergency level unprecedented. But here's the shocking twist that nobody saw coming. Despite all these changes working against sustained winter weather domination, the total winter weather potential hasn't completely evaporated, which means dangerous surprises are still lurking in this new pattern. Mountain regions in the west are actually looking more threatening under this scenario, while eastern areas see concerning but manageable reductions. You'll still face winter weather threats, just packaged in completely different ways, with altered timing and intensity than anything we calculated before. The Midwest and Great Lakes remain in the danger zone, but expect rapid-fire strikes rather than prolonged winter sieges. Say goodbye to those predictable week-long snow events that give you time to prepare for massive accumulations. I need to warn you about something disturbing I've noticed about long-range weather modeling reliability lately. For the past year, I've been amazed by how trustworthy these computer models have been with their extended forecasts. They were nailing jet stream positions and temperature patterns weeks in advance, which gave me the confidence to issue long-range warnings. This sudden betrayal feels like a dangerous return to the unreliable old days when models would promise winter chaos, only to watch those promises crumble as we approach the actual dates, leaving everyone exposed and unprepared. I genuinely believed we had evolved beyond that era of unpredictable long-range modeling as forecasting technology advanced. Obviously, I was dangerously wrong, and we're witnessing the return of some terrifying old patterns in atmospheric modeling. What this reveals is that our atmosphere is currently in an extremely dangerous, volatile state, where tiny changes trigger massive consequences. It's like watching a weather bomb with the butterfly effect as the trigger. Microscopic differences creating completely different, dangerous scenarios. Scientists call this phenomenon sensitive dependence on initial conditions, and we're watching a textbook example explode in real time. This means I'll be monitoring every single model update with emergency level intensity over the coming days. I need to see multiple consistent trends before I'll trust any medium-range forecast again, because your safety depends on accuracy. For your immediate survival planning, here's what I can guarantee with reasonable confidence about the next few days. The next 72 hours should unfold according to previous warnings, since short-range models typically maintain accuracy within that critical time frame. Beyond that window, we're essentially fighting a completely new enemy from scratch. I'll need multiple consecutive model runs showing similar patterns before I'll trust any extended forecast with your safety. My battle plan is to become a 24/7 model surveillance operation over the next few days. I'll be hunting for consistency signals that might reveal which version of winter warfare we're actually preparing for. January just became a complete battlefield, with less than 24 hours until we're in the combat zone. What looked like a predictable winter weather campaign for the eastern states has transformed into this unpredictable guerrilla warfare scenario. But here's a critical tactical insight. This type of model volatility often occurs when the atmosphere is switching between major combat modes. Sometimes this uncertainty resolves back toward the original battle plan, and sometimes it confirms the new warfare entirely. We won't know which combat scenario we're facing until we observe how the next several model cycles handle this atmospheric warfare. What I can promise is complete tactical transparency as we navigate these unprecedented changes together. I'll continue providing daily intelligence briefings tracking every development and trend, so you'll know exactly what threats we're facing in real time. Weather forecasting has always been part tactical planning, part scientific warfare, and situations like this showcase why constant vigilance is essential. The atmosphere constantly launches surprise attacks that challenge everything we think we understand about weather battle tactics. I know this emergency briefing isn't revealing the winter campaign you were expecting after I've been preparing you for this Arctic assault. But this is precisely why I conduct these tactical analyses. To catch these atmospheric surprise attacks when they launch and adjust our defense strategy. I'm committed to fighting this unpredictability with you, even when the enemy changes tactics without warning. The reality is that January 2026 just became significantly more dangerous than any of us anticipated just 48 hours ago. We're going to fight this atmospheric uncertainty together, one battle at a time, until we establish a clear picture of the threats ahead. This has been one of the most alarming 24-hour periods in my weather warfare career. The kind of dramatic surprise attack that reminds you how dangerous underestimating the atmosphere can be. Make sure you return tomorrow because we'll see if these models start providing consistent intelligence or if this warfare escalates further. Something tells me this atmospheric battle is just beginning, and more surprise attacks may be incoming. Dangerous times ahead, weather warriors. Make sure you're subscribed because I'll be providing daily tactical updates. Hit that notification bell because during atmospheric warfare like this, missing critical intelligence could be dangerous. Thanks for joining this emergency briefing on unprecedented model betrayal, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next critical intelligence update. We'll continue gathering tactical intelligence and analyzing threats as this dangerous atmospheric battle continues to evolve. Remember, even when the enemy changes tactics, I'm committed to providing the most honest and thorough tactical analysis possible. This is exactly why real-time atmospheric intelligence matters to catch these surprise attacks as they develop before our eyes. Until tomorrow's intelligence arrives, we'll be analyzing every detail with tactical precision and emergency-level focus. This is definitely one of the most dangerous atmospheric surprise attacks I've encountered in my entire forecasting warfare career. But that's the nature of atmospheric warfare. It always keeps us prepared for the unexpected and ready for rapid tactical adjustments. Thanks for your tactical support as we work together to understand this complex atmospheric battle. Hopefully, we'll gather more definitive intelligence soon as these models reveal what tactical scenario they're actually planning. And I'll be here every step of the battle to guide you through whatever winter weather warfare ultimately develops.